भूतं भुवनं भविष्यत् परिगृहीतमृतेन सर्वम् तेन यच्चस्तायते सप्तहोतातं देवदः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु यस्मिन्द्रजस्सा भयजूर्मिषिरस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठिता रथराभाविवा
वाचो मधु वाचो मधु पृथिवी देहि मह्यम वाचो मधु पृथिवी देहि मह्यम अथर्वा 12:1:16 1-1:16 12:1:16 अथर्वा वाचो मधु पृथिवी देहि मह्यम यद् वदामि मधुमत् तद् वदामि मधुमत् तद् वदामि अथर्वा 12:1:58 12:1:58 वाचो मधु पृथ्वी देहि मह्यम and another one is yad vadami tad madhumat vadami. Now both these, though they appear in two different places in Atharva, they mean the same thing. First one, vacho madhu prithvi dehi mahyam. Like this earth, give me. There is earth, give me. Instill in me, dehi, mahaprana. Instill in me. Madhu vachaha. Sweet words. Second one, whenever I talk, whatever I talk, yad vadami, tat madhumat vadami. Whatever I talk, it will be sweet. Let it be sweet. I shall speak only sweet words. Now I've been discussing about so many things where the common conflict is always between what is objective and what is subjective. This has been a discussion always. When I say good, how do you define good? What is good for me may not be good for you. What is bad for me may not be bad for you. So it's all subjective. Good or bad, subjective. Right or wrong, subjective. Sweet or not sweet. Pleasing or not pleasing. It's all subjective. So it has been a long discussion since a long time, not only today and now. When you speak of things like this which are relative in nature, to what extent it is objective makes all the difference. And when it's subjective, then we can never reach a conclusion at all. Because each one has got their own point of view, each one has got their own experiences in their background, each have got their own understanding, capacity. You cannot say what is what. What is right for one may not be right for the other. So the subjectivity and objectivity is very, very important while we discuss topics of this nature. As far as possible, as you make it objective, things will be clear. But as long as they are subjective, confusion continues. Difference of opinion continues. Conflicts continue. And we cannot categorically say who is right, who is wrong, who is correct, who is not correct, because it's subjective. From their point of view, it appears fine. From the point of view of others, it may not. And each person is having the right to express their opinion and their experience. I cannot come in a way. So that's the problem. But when you make it objective as far as possible, when I understand things objectively, then the whole picture is different. Either my opinion has a place, neither the opinion of any other person is in a place. Everything depends upon that person-free objectivity. Now let's try applying these things here while understanding these two things. Okay, I shall speak sweet words. Let the earth, and I say earth, the environment, it's an upalakshana, it is a representative. So in this world, let the environment and let the situation instill in me sweet words. Whenever I speak, let it be sweet. I speak only sweet words. Fine. Now the whole question is, what is sweet? What is not sour? That's the question. That makes all the difference. And to make those sweet words, define sweet words objectively is a task before us. If I fail in bringing it out objectively, then the whole issue is lost. Okay, you speak something, it's sweet for you. I speak something, it's sweet for me. And someone, what they speak is sweet to my ears and may not be sweet to others. All these problems prop up. So I have to define correctly what it is. The first step would be that which is truth alone is to be defined as sweet. Sweetest could be anything. Even a lie could be sweeter, sweetest. It's possible. So to define somewhere, to make it more and more objective, that's the thing. So to make it more and more objective, we have to define these words. And the first step is, we are defining sweet as truth. It is truthful, it is sweet. It is not truthful, it's not sweet. So basic differentiation we make between what is sweet and what is sour. Next, then what is truth? Once again, what is truth? Now it appears that we have shifted from one problem to another problem, one question to another question. Still the answer is not at view. Now what is truth? Usually we appreciate what is truth depending upon our experience, our vision, our study. Now once again, it is subjective. Depending upon my experience and my vision, my level of knowledge, what is true to me may not be true to other person. Maybe that other person has got a higher knowledge, higher experience, or maybe lower knowledge and lower experience. Their experience will be totally different. And you say that is truth. Once again, these subjective and objective discussions come. Now to again define what it is, which makes the thing objective, not subjective, objective. How do you define truth then? That which is the same for all, at all places and at all times. This I have done several times. Any point, any subject, any issue We check it, whether it holds good for all or is it different for different persons. Now here, an element of subjectivity is transcended. An element of subjectivity is removed from this. Whether it is the same for all, maybe, may not be, I don't know. We check it and we have got proofs for that. And depending on that, we say, yes, this holds good for everyone. It doesn't change with person to person. So a little bit of objectivity is brought in. The next one, whether it's the same at all places. Will this hold good at all places or does it change? This also we can verify. And upon the verification, if it holds good at all places, little more of subjectivity is removed. So it is not bound by place, it is beyond place. In every place it holds good. And the third one which completes it is whether it holds good at all times. Is the same yesterday, is the same today, is the same tomorrow. If yes, yes, we have almost removed the subjective content from that and it becomes objective. It's the same for it, it's the same for you and same for me. We have to verify it, we have to verify it. Then, does it hold good at all places? We'll verify. We'll change places and say whether it holds good or not. The same thing holds good in a different place and in another place, yes, it holds good at all places. And does it hold good at all times? What it was earlier, what it is now, what is going to be tomorrow. So it holds good for all people, for all places, for all times. Yes, that we consider as truth. Some definition, we go for it. That's one way of doing it. That is, we remove that element of subjectivity from it and make it as objective as possible. Then other dimensions we can give for this sweet, madhu. One is truth. Another one is there convergence in our talk? Is there convergence in our talk? That makes it sweet. That's how we are defining it. Now, what is that convergence? I think something and I talk the same thing and I do the same thing. That's convergence of thought, words, and action. If that convergence is there, we define it as madhu, we define it as sweet. Start from the basic definition. If what I think and what I talk, if they are different, and what I talk and what I do, if they're different, then it's not convergence, they are divergent. They are taking us in different directions. So that is not sweet. I'm not deciding sweet depending upon how melodious it is to my ears. No. To what extent it appeases my ego, I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm considering whether there is convergence or not between thought, words, and actions. Now here again we face a problem. What I think and what I talk, this cannot be verified at all. Because what I think is totally secret. Nobody can know it. But for that Satchidananda. What I have got in my mind, the other person has to take it upon my words. It cannot be verified. That's a problem. Because our thought processes are so subtle and so secretive. There is no instrument in the world to find out what I am thinking. Whether I'm thinking or not, whether I'm under emotion, whether I'm calm, that can be found out. But what I'm thinking, no. Whether I'm in a state of sleep, whether I'm awake, whether I am in a dream state, all this can be done. Different states are there. And that can be measured by an instrument. Alpha state, beta state, something they speak about it. All that can be done. But what exactly I'm thinking? No. There is no instrument yet. The word is the only proof. Whatever I declare, whatever I say, whatever I state, that's my thought. So if a person is honest, they speak out their mind. If the person is not honest, we can be very easily cheated. What they speak only, we have to take into consideration. We cannot question it, we cannot challenge it. But when it comes to matching the words with action, now things are different. Words are uttered, we have recorded them, and we can always observe their action and find out whether their words and actions match or not. This is possible. This we can verify. What they have declared, what they have spoken, and what they are doing, yes, we can very well verify. Now our assumption here is, another go, let us assume, our assumption is, if the words and actions match, then the thoughts and words and actions also match. So this is our assumption. I got a strong reason for that, because whatever we speak and whatever we do, to match it itself is a great exercise. It's not easy. The person should be honest, should be committed to what they speak. Otherwise, they cannot match their action to what they speak. So a person who does this definitely would have thought the same way. That's our assumption. So when you divide it into two, there's convergence between thought and words, convergence between or harmony between talk and action. If one part is okay, the other part is also okay. Now, if there is that convergence, we define the words spoken or madhu or sweet. There should be convergence. That's the second measure for us. First thing, whether there is an element of truth in what we speak. Second one, whether there is convergence between thought, words, and actions. If yes for number one, if yes for number two, yes, it is madhu. It is sweet. The words are sweet. And third one, whether the words which are uttered are not motivated by kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. This we have been considering from the beginning as our internal enemies. Now, whether there is an influence of this when we are talking is to be verified. Now, this verification basically is done by the person who is talking, and will be cross-verified by the listener. First, we have to verify. When we pray like this, let my words be sweet. Let me speak only sweet words when I speak. If that is my prayer, my first endeavor shall be to verify whether it is motivated by, prompted by, influenced by my internal enemies or not. It should not be influenced by these things. On the contrary, it should be influenced by the wish of greater good of greater number. Then it becomes sweet. The subject matter may appear sour. The subject matter may appear not palatable on the face of it. But if it has got in it the intention of greater good of greater number, yes. it is sweet. It's considered as sweet. It may appear rough to listen. The words may appear harsh. But if the intention is this, it is considered as sweet. A simple way of understanding it is whether the talk is emotional, whether the person who is talking is emotional, or is he just explaining the truth, speaking the truth straight. If they are under emotion, the cause for emotion is that kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. They are the cause of emotion. So whenever the influence of these things are there, the person becomes emotional. When I say emotional, it could be positive and negative. But when it is prompted by these, it is emotion in the negative sense. So what we call it as? We call it as uddvega. That's the word what is. Uddvega. Now the words what we utter should not be a result of uddvega, and to the listener also it should not cause uddvega. Two ways. Speaker also should not be under the influence of uddvega. The listener also should not get excited. Should not be subject to uddvega. So when I say uddvega here in both cases, it is definitely in the negative sense, harmful sense. The intention of talking should not be to cause harm, but to cause harmony, love, and cooperation and peace. So then they are not prompted by, then they are not influenced by the Ari Shadvarga, the 6 enemies inside. Is another check what we have to make to find out whether the words uttered are really sweet or not sweet. The intention. Is the intention the greater good of greater number? It is sweet. It is selfish, influenced by these internal enemies. Be careful, they are not sweet. However melodious it may appear to listen, however enchanting, however enticing it may be, it's not sweet. That's why we are trying to define that sweet. And we are trying to make it as far as possible objective, not subjective. Then, when the words become sweet, next parameter, that is brevity. Brevity. B-R-E-V-A-T-Y, brevity. The technical term is mita. Mita, brevity. Of course we speak, but are we using as minimum words as possible? Just beating around the bush is not sweet. We talk and talk and talk. Finally, what is the essence? Nothing. We didn't catch the essence of it. That's useless talk. That's not sweet. Speak few words and convey maximum. That's called as brevity. Less words, more content. It's also called as economy of words. We have to practice the strictest economy of words, but not the truth. Whatever I want to say, I should communicate fully, but with as minimum words as possible. Is it possible? Do we have examples? Yes. Every sentence from the Veda, every mantra is an example for that. We have been seeing few words, content so wide, so deep. Any piece of Veda mantra that we have studied so far, any Veda mantra we have studied so far is a glaring example, beautiful example, sweet example for these words. Brevity. As less as possible, content is wide. To understand those few words, we have to think and think, concentrate on it, and finally realize what it is really telling us. then whatever we talk should be supported by, of course, last point, our study, knowledge, and experience. Not be just a loose talk. Before we talk, we should have studied a lot about the subject what we are talking about. We should ensure our commitment to the subject. We should have studied it in depth. We should have experimented. We should have experienced. And out of that experimentation and experience, we should have brought out certain common things, objectivity. And based on that objectivity, if you talk, it is an experienced, authoritative talk. And that is sweet. That is considered sweet. So whenever we use the word sweet, we are not taking it on the face value, as we understand today, but we have to define, redefine, review, and upon that we have to consider what is sweet, what is not sweet. And while doing it, we are into objectivity. As far as possible, as far as possible. Now, whatever I said now, it is not my opinion. We are defining it, and this definition is the same for you, me, and everyone. This definition holds good not only for me. We are all understanding this on a common platform. So when you are understanding this on a common platform, that's objectivity. Our individual opinions, our individual influences, prejudices will not work here. We are stopping them. We are stopping them. We are barring them. We are trying to consider only those which are common to all of us, which is the same for all of us. So based on this, my words shall be sweet. My words shall be sweeter. My word shall be the sweetest. Now, when you consider this definition, what is the benefit? What is the benefit? First one is very clear. It is above subjectivity, objective. Then emphasis is laid on truth. Truth is always strong. Truth is always eternal. Untruth dies one day. So whether we are taking shelter in truth or untruth is a very important point. If you are taking shelter under truth, yes, that shelter will be for a long, long, long period. If we take shelter under untruth, falsehood, one day will be exposed to all the vagaries of negative things. We cannot protect ourselves because the very thing which is protecting us itself is having short life. Falsehood. That's one benefit. When I speak of convergence between the thought, words, and action, wherever that convergence is there, it may be in me, it may be in you, or it may be in anyone. Wherever this convergence is there, we can experience peace. We are relieved, we are free. Because whatever I thought is spoken, whatever is spoken, I am doing accordingly. It's open, simple, easy, straight, frank, honest, whatever you call it. It gives me a lot of peace, no worry, no tension, no anxiety, no fear. But when that convergence is not there between my thought, words, and action, yes, I'm into a lot of problems and troubles. Because they don't match. Unless they match, I'm not peaceful. I'm always under tension, anxiety, and fear that whether this divergence will be exposed or not. I'm worried. I've spoken something, I've done something. Now there is no convergence. Then I'm always under tension. If somebody finds out, hey, you spoke in that way, now you're doing something else. If somebody questions me, what I'm to answer? And we do have man-made laws also which insist on the convergence between talk and action. I cannot talk something and do something. I cannot commit for something and do something else. Even the man-made laws insist upon it. So if I follow it, I'm a law-abiding citizen of the world. If I don't follow it, I'm subject to punishment. Even in man-made laws I'm speaking of. And the same system works with God-made laws also. The cosmic laws, the spiritual laws, they do work. They do insist on the convergence between thought, words, and actions. If that convergence is not there, that person will be punished. May not be physically, may not be mentally, but spiritually. Spiritually, what is the punishment? They become weaker. They become impure, spiritually, at the level of soul. That's the punishment. It's a big loss. Because when the soul is strong and pure, only then it can experience peace and bliss. Losing it is losing peace and bliss. If anybody is prepared, okay, it's their wish. But nobody will wish for it. We want peace and bliss ultimately. Every one of us, without exception. So convergence is a must. I cannot just ignore it. Brevity. Fine. I save energy, I save complications. More and more I go on explaining unnecessarily, it creates confusion. And it's possible that when I talk more and more, there is all the possibility I contradict myself. So that is the case. It's not sweet. It's not sweet. The benefit is, when I speak less and allow the person to think and understand, they will be involved. They'll be involved in what we talk. And that involvement has got its own benefits. In every case. And intention is very clear. If my intention is selfish, if my intention is narrow, compare it to a broader intention of greater good of greater number. Definitely the second one is more beneficial, not only to me, but everyone around me. And more wider it becomes, it is beneficial to the whole world. The whole world is peaceful. Am I not benefited? Is not my society benefited? Is not my family benefited? Fine, we all share it. Then the talk should be supported by our study. That study and learning is a special phenomena of human beings, special feature of human beings. No animal can study and learn. They are restricted in their life by their instincts. But we are not. We are not. We can go beyond our instincts. We can manage our instincts. But their instincts and management of instinct is very, very mechanical in all other creatures. But here, in human beings, it need not be mechanical. It can be well thought out, the management of these instincts. And we can work beyond those instincts also. Which is special for only, I repeat, only human beings. That's the benefit. I'm in learning mode. I learn and learn and learn. I study and study. With more study, with more learning, with more understanding, yes, the whole situation around me becomes crystal clear to me, and I'm not in dark. There are no gray areas. Fine. When I know my situation, internal and external, well, my decisions will be more clear and right and gives the required result. If I'm ignorant, the decisions what I take may not give me the required results. If I want the required results, study is required, and a talk influenced by this deep study and understanding, yes, definitely is helpful to me and also to others. It's all the benefits. It's all the benefits. So finally, where we end? Let our talks be sweet. So we understood now what sweet is. It's not as sweet what I'm speaking, keeping my tongue as a parameter. No, it's not that sweetness. This is sweetness. We have defined sweetness. And with this sweetness, if I talk, yes, my friends, my relationships, everything will become sweet. All the relations become humane. And what do you call this? Before talking, we have to screen what we want to talk. We have to filter and finally talk that which is really sweet. If it fails any of the parameters which we discussed just now while defining sweetness, better not talk, better not utter even a sound. Keep quiet. And you say, what to talk is good, fine. But when the talk is not worth talking, and if you keep silent, that's better and more beneficial. In Kannada, we have got one saying, Kannada language, what is here. Matu belli, mauna bangara. What we talk, of course, is equal to silver, fine. But keeping silent is golden. If the words are not worth speaking, silence is better. But if we have to talk, then we have to talk. Their silence is not advocated. Don't keep silent. It's a situation where you have to talk and you have to talk. Keeping silent when you are supposed to talk is not right. But talking unnecessarily too is wrong. So there has to be a balance. Don't be silent always. Don't be talkative always. If you talk always, it's not talk, it is chattering. They are called chatterboxes. It's of no use. But if you keep quiet when you are supposed to talk and share your thoughts and words, we should. Keeping quiet also disturbs the whole situation. Now this balancing point we have to find out. So if you find out that balancing point, what is it? That is madhu. That's madhu, that is sweet. Now all these things what I am telling is explained in different other Veda mantras. Saktumiva titavuna punantaha. I discussed this. Saktumiva titavuna punantaha. Whatever words we have to utter, we have to sieve them. Sieve them, that is filter them, check them. Whether really pass through these things what we discussed just now. If yes, talk. Otherwise, no. And when you speak like that, we are making friends. When you speak without base, without authority, without considering these things, there's all the possibility that we create new and fresh enemies. And all our relationships will be disturbed. Now it is our prayer here. Let the words what I speak be made sweet and sweeter. And whenever I open my mouth to talk, I will talk only sweet words. So that's the essence of these two pieces of Veda mantras from Atharva. Of course, to practice this implicitly is a bit tough in the beginning. Yes. But when you are at it, When you practice it and try to do it again and again and again, it becomes our very nature. Then we are very clear. It becomes simple and easy. Whenever you talk, it will be sweet only. But this we have to achieve. That's what is called as sadhana. Sadhana. That's the thing what we have to do. We have to be at it throughout. And when you follow it, yes, the environment around us will also be sweet. You can observe, whenever the environment is disturbed, please note that one or the other person who is related to that environment and that situation would have spoken nonsense. You can observe anywhere, anytime. So to make this a principle to be followed by every person, and the training to speak like this, yes, of course, should be part of our education and training our children and future progeny. Then we can create a better world. Next. Jaradashtim ma pruthivi krunotu. Jaradashtim ma pruthivi krunotu. Jaradashtim ma pruthivi krunotu. 12:1:22 Atharva. 12:1:22 Jaradashtim ma pruthivi krunotu. Dirgham na ayuhu. Dirgham na ayuhu. Atharva. 12:1:62. 12:1:62 Atharva. Jaradashtim ma pruthivi krunotu. 12:1:22. And Dirgham na ayuhu. 12:1:62. Now here in the first one, Jaradashtim ma prithvi krunotu, that ma specifically I am telling, it has to be in Anudatta. Jaradashtim ma prithvi krunotu. This we have discussed earlier. The pitch also has got its own role to play while understanding the meaning of the Veda mantras. Now this ma is one word. I will chant it at the udatta, at the normal pitch. It is prohibitive. Let it not happen. That's what it means. But when I pronounce the same ma in a lower pitch, anudatta, then it means to me, for me. The same ma means two different things, depending upon the pitch. Now here it's not prohibitive, it is for me, therefore I have to pronounce it at a lower pitch. Anudatta. Jaradashtim ma prithvi krunotu. Then Dirgham na ayuhu. Dirgham naha ayuhu. Now another difference between these two, the first one is in singular, the second one is in plural. Ma is in singular, naha is in plural. Now this prayer is applicable to individual and all. It's a prayer of every individual, and also it is a concerted prayer which covers every one of us. It's individual as well as a group, you pray for it. It's not selfish. It's for one and all. One is in the first piece and all is in the second piece. This prayer is for one and all. And both are convergent. Both mean the same thing. Jaradashti, Jara, Jrivayo, another root. Until our this Sharira Indriya Manas becomes too old, unusable, that is Jara. It becomes worn and torn. Till such time, let me live. Till such time, let me live. And let the environment, the Prithvi, let it do it. And let it give me an environment in which I shall live until my machinery is completely worn and torn and becomes unusable. Second one, let it be longer. I wish for longevity. Dirgham Nayuhu. Let our lives be extended. Let us all have a long life, long span of life. Let us all experience longevity. So there are the direct meanings. Now to understand it, keeping in mind different other Veda mantras. There are several Veda mantras speak about longevity. Jijivisha. Jijivisha means wish to live long. Wish to live long is called as Jijivisha. That's a technical term. As Jijivisha is expressed in several places in all the four Vedas, not in one or two places, several places. Okay, that's very clear. Every creature wants to live. Nobody wants to die unless there is some problem with their psyche. Unless there is some problem, that suicidal tendency will not be there. Suicidal tendency is a diseased condition. It's not normal, it's not healthy. For a healthy person, everyone wants to live long and nobody wants to die. That's normal. That's one of the features of life. Self-preservation and self-propagation. Now this comes under self-preservation. Okay, fine, everybody wants to live. Nobody wants to die. Excellent. Now I have to answer another very, very important question as human beings. Why do you want to live long? Why? What's the use? What's the purpose? Is it just to live? Or is there any other reason for living long? Now these questions are there only for human beings, not any other creature. It's natural for them to avoid death, to save themselves, fine. But as human beings, we have to answer this question to ourselves. Why I want to live long? Is it just an animal instinct for self-preservation, or is there any other extra purpose or meaning for it? Yes, there is. There is extra meaning, extra purpose, extra understanding for living long. I have discussed all these points. I'm just putting them in place now here in the light of these two pieces of Veda mantras. This human life is a rare opportunity, which is not there for any other creature in the world. Now, what is that rare opportunity? That is to gain strength to the soul and to purify the soul. Purification of soul and strengthening of the soul is possible only in human life. Why do you want it? Because only then it becomes capable of, only then it deserves the experience of peace and bliss. How do we do it? It is through our thoughts, words, and actions only. We have to strengthen our souls and we have to purify our souls. And more time we get, better. Less time we cannot do more. So what is that more time? That's longevity. That is wish for a longer life. That's wish for Dirgha Ayu. As long as you live, and if I get one more moment, one more hour, one more day, one more year, fine. I get so much time. I can think sweet, I can talk sweet, I can do sweet. And all this goes a long way in strengthening and purifying the soul. 1 minute less, I'm at loss. 1 day less, I have lost it. So this wishing for longevity is not for enjoying, is not for just living, is not for experiencing sensual pleasures, but it is for the progress of the soul, the strengthening and purification of the soul. Everybody is free. If they want, they can do it. Otherwise, they can forget about it. But this is a rare opportunity. If you make use of it, it's fine. If you don't make use of it, no. That's why I said it's a rare opportunity. Now, these words are explained in several other places in the same Vedas. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet shatagam samaha. To perform our duties, to act to our strength and purity of the soul, yes, jijivisha, I want to live as long as possible, maybe 100 years. Shatam samaha. Is it 100? Not necessarily. Bhuyascha sharadashata. That's another piece of the Veda mantra. 100 and beyond. 100 and beyond. Live. And as far as possible, gain the strength and purity of the soul. You become more and more deserving for experience peace and bliss. Who doesn't want peace and bliss? Every one of us we want. Every one of us we are in search of that only. Given everything in the world but peace and bliss, no, we are not satisfied. We are not comfortable. Give peace and bliss. Let anything be there, let anything not be there. We are happy and comfortable. That makes all the difference. We are really happy and comfortable only when we are able to experience peace and bliss. Not anything else. All other things, of course, we need them, but that is not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is, whether we know it or not, whether we say yes or not, whether we like it or not, is peace and bliss only. A person who has experienced peace and bliss, yes, they are contented. They are above fear. They are above all the normal clutches, tensions, and anxieties what other people experience. Because they have reached the goal. Peace and bliss. And I don't get it, I get every other thing. My search continues. I cannot stop there. I say, no, this is not the one that I want. This is not the one I want. Not this, not this, not this, not this. The search continues. The search comes to an end only when I experience peace and bliss. The same for you, for me, and everyone at all times. We may know it, we may not know it. But our search is for peace and bliss. I may say no. And start getting X, Y, Z, not peace and bliss. Okay, every time I get something, every time I achieve something, I say, no, this is not the one. I wanted something else. Recognize it early, be comfortable, take the right route. It's easy. Search here and there, lose your path, lose your way, and finally come here. Okay, it's up to you. It's a question of waste of time and energy. Identify the goal straight, go towards it straight. The shortest route, straight line. Go straight and get it. Fine. And to get it, I have to work. To work, I want time. And I want this time to be as long as possible. That's wish for a longer span. That's wish for longevity. And for whom it is? It's for me, it's for all. It's one and all. I want it for me. I want it for everyone. It's a prayer individually. It's a prayer in a group. All of us together we pray. Let us all live long. Individual also pray, I want to live long. Both are okay. My wish to live long and our wish to live long, they go hand in hand. They are not contradictory. Now, between one and all, yes. If I want to live long, I cannot achieve it alone because you're all social beings. So I have to wish for living long together. Then only I can help my other fellow beings to live long. And they have to help me. That mutual assistance is essential. That mutual assistance is not there. Though my wish is there to live long, I may not. Because the forces around me, they are not allowing me to live long. It happens. It's happening. Somebody will force upon me my end. Because of their own reasons. Because of their own reasons. But if it's a common prayer, when we all sit here and pray together, then the issue is different. I recognize the wish of the right of every other creature to live long. For that, a common, a concerted effort, a concerted prayer is required, and that's in the second one. Dirghamna ayuhu. Together we pray. I recognize your right to live long. I recognize your wish to live long, and pray the same from you. And ultimately, we all together pray with God to give us all the knowledge so that we can live long. Every thought of ours will take away our life. Every word we utter will take away our life. Every action we do, it reduces our energy, and the machinery becomes worn and torn. So when the thoughts are sweet, when the words are sweet, when the actions are sweet, the loss of energy is very, very minimum, and the machinery is well maintained, and this machinery can be used for a longer time. Simple. That's the process. Know it and do it. Excellent. Don't know it, but do it. That's also good. Don't know, don't do it. God only have to save us. So here, these two sentences help us to know it individually and collectively, and guide us to do it together, to achieve it together. I'm with you, you're with me. I shall live long, you shall also live long. I shall help you at times when you're in trouble. You help me when I'm in trouble. It is a joint journey. Individually also we are doing, no doubt, but at the same time, we are doing it together. It's a social goal. Dirghamna ayu. It's not just my effort. Of course, my effort is there. I'm not denying it, but at the same time, it is our effort also to achieve the goal well. So we want to live long, and we have got a purpose for living longer, and let us achieve that purpose and make ourselves also happy and comfortable, make others also happy and comfortable. It is a joint effort. Every one of us, we contribute, and all our contributions will make it a big treasure, and that treasure, we all share it. Contribute and share, rather than keeping our share without contributing. It's also possible, but the result is very less. But when you contribute and share, the result is enormous. It multiplies. If I keep it, okay, say my capacity is 5 and I keep 5, I get 5. Contribute, every one of us we contribute, and when we divide, it may become 8. I'm benefited. If I keep it for myself, it would be 5. If I contribute and share, it may become 8. It's possible, because when it is contributed, it grows, it spreads, it becomes enriched. That's the result of contribution. And when it is contributed and when we share, yes, our share will be more than what we could have had without sharing. Now that's how the social dynamics work. Social dynamics, that's how it works. And realizing that is Dirghamna Ayuhu, that all of us live for a long span. That shall be our prayer. And ultimately benefit is to me also. I will also live long. And all of us live long, I am also not left out. So it is individual plus individual goals merged with the collective goal. That's the beauty of Vedic science, the Vedic sociology, Vedic economics, whatever you call it, Vedic humanity, whatever it is. It says you are not isolated, you are not living in isolation. You are part of the society, you are part of the world. If you want your welfare, you have to work for the welfare of the whole unit, the whole world. Because you are connected to it, you are part of it, you are a piece of it. It is an integrated life. It's not disintegrated. If it were to be disintegrated, things would have been different, but we are not. We are social beings. We want to live together. That wish to live for togetherness is in our very nature of the soul. So while considering all these things, yes, we want to live long and not just live long, make that long life purposeful and useful. Okay, thank you for the day. We shall discuss many more things. Namaste.